on the porch with night danger. The birds are singing. The sun is beating down. It's going to be a hot day. But until it gets hot, we're going to stay outside because it's good for you. I want to talk today a little bit about investigative games, Call of Cthulhu, and Broasaur principles. Because I think they are destined for each other. Yesterday, I made a couple posts over on Twitter, um, detailing the problems I've historically had with crime games like gangster and detective fiction and Call of Cthulhu in terms of RPG play. I think that the conventional mindset and the conventional approach to RPGs is actively hostile to reproducing the crime fiction that I know and love. And I love crime fiction. I like gangster movies. I like detective movies. I like noir, French New Wave. I like Mickey Spillane books. The more stylized and hyper real it is, the better. I love this stuff. Um, but I've never tried to run a game that handles it because immediately I have always come up against this wall of problems. Imagine a conventional RPG table trying to do Pulp Fiction. You've got two guys playing uh, Sam Jackson and John Travolta. You've got another guy playing Bruce Willis's character. You got another guy playing Tim Roth's character. Uh, maybe someone's playing Ving Rhames. And then you ask yourself, what happens if your players they create their characters? They I'm an enforcer for the mob. Oh, I'm the mob boss. Or I'm like a petty criminal. Oh, I'm a boxer who is like in with the mob. And they make these characters, and immediately, what would they do? Think about it for a second. They get along because they're all player characters. They would decide by default that we're supposed to work together towards some common aim. Maybe we'll have like arguments or intra-party conflict if it's dramatically appropriate, but we're still all we're all on the same team, right, guys? No, no, that's no good. I can't have that. Oh, he uh he heard something in the bushes. We'll see if he catches anything. He never catches anything. Now, this doesn't have to be this way. Black Lodge Games has rightly noted that maybe what D&D players need is they need to be forced to play vampire. They need to be forced to because they need to be forced to do this allegedly. I've never played vampire, but apparently because it will teach you how to think competitively, how to think in terms of goals that may or may not align with the party, how to think in terms of keeping secrets from the party, all that stuff. So, kudos where kudos is due to the theater kids. But nonetheless, I think that there are Broasar ideas that would greatly assist in the execution of crime fiction. First being one-to-one time, but not necessarily strictly just one-to-one. You could do, I think for a Call of Cthulhu game, Jeffro mentioned the possibility of a 1 week equals 1 month in terms of like 1 week real time is 1 month in game. But the important thing is that it's a fixed, consistent, non-arbitrary passage of time. And you need this because if you want the players to work against each other, they all need to have the same amount of resources. They all need to have access to the same quantity of stuff. Time can't move faster for one guy and slower for another. It has to be consistent. The other big thing is what I'm cheekily calling a Gangstein a sorry, there's someone walking on the side of the road with a Bluetooth speaker. We live in the country. You're not supposed to do that. It's obnoxious. Anyways. So the fixed time. Oh, now you've seen them. It's darn dog. Anyways, fixed time schedule. But then the Gangstein, the Braunstein, the fog of war diplomacy session. I wonder if the Braunstein structure would be better suited for session gameplay and session roleplay than a conventional around the table RPG thing. Maybe you all get and sit around the table and work together if there's some event like where everyone's gathered in one place. But for the most part, I think good crime, good gangster fiction at least. Detectives are another story. We might have to do that in another video on detectives. But a gangster structure, I think it really does just need to be a Braunstein. Or at the very least, if you did it as a Braunstein, it would make more sense. It would be easier to manage in terms of creating that kind of powder keg of problems. And the interesting thing here is that this would make the game, a proposed gangster game, very slim. You could probably fit it in like a 24, 36 page digest booklet, because a big part of what makes Braunsteins run smoothly is that things are not too hair-splitting from a rules perspective. You have to put a lot of trust in the referee to just kind of smooth things over and make things happen. But we're getting closer to 10 minutes, and that's generally when I like to stop these things. But yeah, just food for thought. Suppose that a fixed connected to the real world calendar, whether that's 1-to-1 or I think 1-to-1 would be just fine for gangster purposes. A 1-to-1 calendar, and if not every session, then regularly having Braunstein style sessions where everyone gets together in person, but then treats it very much like a game of diplomacy. You're working with people, you're stepping out into other rooms, you're scheming, you're sending messages, and then you're having the things you attempt to do adjudicated by the referee. Maybe, just maybe, I can finally have an RPG session where I get to see something like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels unfold at my table. This is going to dominate my mind for the next several weeks, I think. I really think there's something here. We have to record it and share it for posterity, and so that if I manage to make it work and it turns out to be awesome, then we can point to the exact moment where I first put the pen to paper and publicly declared my ideas and my intentions. So, hope you guys have a lovely morning, lovely afternoon, and there may or may not, I haven't decided if I want to bother recording another one, there may or may not be another video where I talk about applying some of the Braunstein principles specifically to investigative games, whether that's detective fiction or something like Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, I'll probably record something like that, but maybe not today. It's starting to get hot, and I don't like recording in the house. You gotta record outside. You gotta feel the wind on your face. This is Night Danger on the porch. Signing off. Adios.